Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Gone Bush podcast. As usual, I am Rocky and this is...
I'm Froggy.
And before we get into this week's topics, I just got to make a couple of corrections from last week's episode about the...
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
What?
You sort of got into a little bit of trouble, but you didn't.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Yeah, from the creators.
Huh?
Didn't you get that?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
There was a bit of a filming rights issue or something.
Oh, no. I'll explain that in a second.
Right.
No, this was about how we were talking about the lady who poisoned the family by...
Oh, yeah.
So I got a couple of facts wrong, so I just want to correct that.
Oh.
It was actually just 3 members of her ex-husband's family.
Yeah, and they weren't magic mushies?
No, they were.
Oh, they were, yep.
They were just some lethal magic mushrooms. And she didn't pack them in a quiche. She put them... Worst thing to put them in. She put them in beef Wellington. Now, I love a damn good beef Wellington. The idea you would ruin a beef Wellington with some shitty mushrooms. I mean, first off, I would have tasted that. You got to have a good mushroom in beef Wellington. And for any US viewers who don't know what that is, it's basically a Scotch fillet steak with gravy, mushroom, and bacon, I think is the other one.
Yeah.
Wrapped in pastry.
I think, might be some carrots in there, whatever you want to put in.
Yeah, depends on...
a bit, but not potato, because you've got the pastry.
But that's considered a very fine meal here in Australia and also in England, I believe.
Yeah, I'd have mushrooms in mine.
Oh, yeah. But that's the thing, they've got to be fresh.
And they've got to be the right ones.
Yeah,
I would say go to Coles and buy them. Right.
Yeah, not go pick them from the field.
No, especially if you've got your friends, fucking family coming.
I was going to say, like, she knew what she was doing. She knew the mushrooms she was picking. So that's those few corrections. Just wanted to make that clear because my mum actually pointed that out that I was wrong on those 2 things, so I thought I'd correct that. Now, this week's topic, we're going to get to soon, but is this week's topic that we're getting to sooner. I can't speak today. This week's topic that we'll be getting to later is basically just having a discussion about why we think, or our views on why we think television and movies are so important to humans these days in society. And that means 2 different things. It's why are people relying on it and what part does it play in society. But before we get to that, Froggy has a full CCTV. Oh, I can't believe I said that right.
Yeah.
Surprising. CCTV camera setup throughout the property here, which he put in for multiple reasons, including theft and animals, like possums and foxes. And there's another one there, isn't there? I'm forgetting.
Foxes, possums, people.
Isn't there?
What was the other one?
I can't remember.
There's 4 different things that stops.
Yeah.
But anyway, stopped a lot of things.
But he discovered something interesting on... were you watching the screen when it happened, or did it just automatically record this and you saw it later?
No, I can't remember. I think I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was watching it, actually.
Yeah, so it's probably around the time you're going to bed, isn't it?
I just happened to be in the bedroom at the time, and I noticed something on the screen. So I can share with the viewers.
Yeah.
I decided to put it in my paranormal files, my Explain It stuff.
Yeah, so before we get into it, I should just explain that I've only seen 20 seconds of this clip. I haven't seen the main stuff that we're looking at. So I'm going to be viewing it for the first time like you guys are.
I'll be doing the commentary. Yeah,
from what I've seen, as I already said to Froggy, I don't see anything looking paranormal, but I haven't seen the full thing yet. So before we get into this week's topic, let's have a look at this video, shall we?
Yeah.
So this is taken in the backyard.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things we have to explain first. One, you can see in the sort of top middle left area, there's a large source of light. And do you want to explain to the viewers what that source of light is?
That's not what we're looking at. That's our turtle enclosure where the incubator is for the egg, the sand and the eggs. That sort of stays on all night on its best until it gets real hot and summer it'll start turning off. But daytime it turns off. It's more for night time, and we use a big globe to do that. So that's what the camera's picking up.
And it's the same over on the right, isn't it? That there's a light in the greenhouse, isn't there?
Now that, yes, there's lights in greenhouse as well, so that's right.
Yeah, so on the very right there,
Yeah.
where that light's coming from, that's a greenhouse.
Yeah, and this light here has been picked up. The camera's got its own light.
Yeah, the
Which is
infrared light.
activated when it's activated.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's play the video and have a look.
Yeah. So this is what the backyard looks like in general. So I thought we'd play this for you first, just so you can see there's not much going on.
Part of the backyard anyway. It's a very
just
large
that's part
backyard.
of it. So and then this isn't very long. This goes for a small moment.
By the way, there's no audio on these clips.
There's no audio on the cameras as well.
Is there mics on those cameras?
No. So we just watch that for a moment. Now, I think that's nearly finished, is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So the next video is the same area, and we've got an orb that's appeared. Some paranormal stuff, maybe, we don't know. But this could be, we're not saying it is, but I'm playing this to show you how an orb could be mistaken.
And I'll hold my opinion until
We're
it's
finished,
over.
yeah. But, you know, if you didn't see anything else, and this just appears on the screen, I know that I could go outside and not see that. That's what happens. People go and they can't see it, so stop there. Now we'll show you what it actually is. You can see on the screen now we've got a spider coming across, and he's dropping out new orbs. See those new orbs he's just dropped out? There's the old one in the centre, and it's a bit faint now because it's drying out. And he's got zip lines that he's already installed before, and the camera can't pick those up. He's crawling across them. So now we've got quite a few orbs in the backyard. And you see how they're moving? Because the spider's pulling the web.
And the wind.
And the wind. There's no wind, actually. So you could count
Enough,
that out.
yeah, but enough to make it move slightly.
If you like. But see, it's
Yeah.
stopped now, right?
Basically.
Yeah, but I think the video's nearly finished coming up, but this one. But it starts moving again because he's tugging on the line out of camera.
Yeah.
All right? He's
He's always
making some
attached
stuff
to it.
elsewhere. So I just thought I'd share that with the viewers, how some of the paranormal can be mistaken. That's all I was going to point out with this part. But I'd like you to watch this video on, and I found this most intriguing and most fascinating to actually watch this spider, now that we know that it's a spider, continue to build the rest of his web.
And what do we believe type of spider that is? A funnel web, did you
I
say?
thought it was an orb at first. We could call it an orb just for the video, but
Which-
it's actually
More specifically in Australia, it's called a golden orb.
a
weevil.
golden orb. There's a few different sorts. There's garden orbs. There's actually quite a few different sorts.
But what would it be here? Golden?
It'd be a garden orb.
Oh, it'd be a garden.
Yeah,
Okay, there
in
you go.
fact, they're smaller species and don't have the colours. Now you can see here the spider here.
He's making web.
Yeah, he's making a thicker part of the
Yep.
web.
It's like he's drawing.
He's drawing and joining them together, and making them thick, and then you'll join, then you'll put them on and
It
pull.
almost looks like a mix of drawing and sewing.
Yeah, looks like he's having a wank. What? Oh,
I don't know. That might be what that is to them. I don't know.
yeah, we don't know. It could be a male. So in here we can see now he's starting to join up. He was doing before. We've progressed on a bit, right? Because it takes a while.
Yeah.
And he started the zigzag now to join up the zip lines that you can't see on the film. All right. So it proves that they're there. And I might point out also that this film looks like it's been done under an X-ray because he's so close to the camera lens, and which is really nice to see. It's highlighted actually what he's doing. So it's really interesting footage. And there's another one coming, I think, where he's done some of this side. Yeah, so he's starting to come up the bottom now, up this
Yeah,
side now.
over to the middle,
He's
yeah.
going to complete that seat right through.
And we actually just saw him up on the very left crawling
Yep.
on the
Yeah,
netting
he's
there.
pulling the line up.
Yeah.
So it's coming in view now, boys.
We'll see
pulling it.
how the green netting's moving. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's on it.
Yep, yep.
You saw him up in the corner run across it
Yeah.
a few seconds ago.
Right. I missed that bit. And it looks like you've seen signing my name down there, see?
Now, what I'll actually do,
Yep.
I'll get you to... Now, it's not, but this is what could be perceived as paranormal. You keep your eyes in this area right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That could be a reflection of one of these spots.
Exactly right.
There you go. There's a moth that flew
Yep,
down there.
that was a moth.
Yeah. Well picked up. That's exactly how it happens.
Now, that does have the movement of one, but it wasn't bright enough.
Right.
That's the only way I'd rule that out, because it wasn't bright enough. I say now here we're looking at a lot more detailed of a web.
Yeah, and if you watch closely what he's doing, you can actually see him pull those lines up and attach them and come back again.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic footage. See how it's getting longer and longer, that one he's making? It's getting longer
Yeah.
and longer.
I also just noticed your camera stuffed the time.
The time's up.
No, look, because when we started it was at 9 something or other PM.
Yeah.
Now we're on the third video and it's trying to say it's 10 AM. We've got a bit of an error there, didn't it?
Is the date wrong? Is this the next night?
No, it's got the right date.
Well, you know, is 1 hour out or something?
No, I don't know. That's weird. I don't know why it's done that.
Well, we were playing with the time as well.
Oh, that
on the
might be why.
program. at the
That
time.
might be why.
Yeah, so it might have come into that when we were doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway, see here, he's pushing it down.
Oh, yeah.
He's made, he's halfway, he'll join that up and he'll come back again. But very fascinating footage that I caught on one of my security cameras. Just thought I'd share that with the viewers. Yeah, there's a bit there on this one.
So this is the last one.
Yeah. So watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's not that long.
So if I was to even look at a couple of seconds of that footage in the beginning, there was two things that would make me not think it's paranormal. One is its length, and two was its movements. They were very...
Not moving that much.
No, but they were very much wind movements.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of, like that, it was, the movements wind would make. So that would lead me to rule out that being paranormal. Having said that, when we just pick up that other little thing moving around,
Yeah, in the background.
that could have been a reflection, that could have been
Yeah, play that one again if you want, and we'll have another look at that.
I can't remember where it was.
It's the second last or the last one? It wasn't the last one. Second last? Or was it one before that?
I think it was this one, wasn't it?
I think, yeah. Let's have a look at the area.
Should we see it over here?
Yeah.
Now, this isn't anything. Well, my mind wouldn't suspect it is, because just based on what I've personally seen in the past, if you get orbs like this, they're generally quite a bit brighter. This is barely visible.
Yeah, this one is.
I think now we're starting to get some of the movements here.
Oh, yeah.
And based on the fact that that one we just saw had very clear defined edges, I would say that was a reflection.
Yeah.
Because you know how there's sort of like a...
I don't think it was that one.
No, maybe not. It's probably this one. It's like when you look straight into a light, you know how you see the shapes coming off the beam sort of thing?
Yeah.
How it's a very defined shape?
Yeah.
That one moving over there. Okay, there we
there
go.
it is. Look, what's that?
Actually, that is a bit weirder than I thought. That's a pretty rapid movement.
But if these were moving one little tiny bit, it'd be amplified. And it'd be
You
quite
know
a
what
lot.
I'm actually questioning? Is that a possum?
Where?
What we're seeing, is it actually a possum?
No. Go back and have a look if you want.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Over here. There. I think that's a possum.
No.
Look at the way it's moving.
No, I've seen possums on the film before, and they're a lot better than that. It looks like a dog in the film. Brings up possums pretty clear. It wanders off under the
I
table.
actually can't explain that. Now that I've looked at it in depth, I need to see it again.
Now you've got to check all the videos for that. We haven't checked all the front ones before for that same.
Yeah, it's
There it
there. It definitely looks like animal behaviour, but there is a translucentness to it, which would suggest it's not an actual animal. It's gone. And I think that's all we see of it. Right, that's...
Well, that's it. So it
Yeah.
is a ghost movie.
Yeah, I can't explain that. Have you got an explanation for it?
No, all I can say is play the other ones and see if it's in those first ones. We weren't looking for that before.
No, we weren't. But it also changed to, oh, there we go, this is what we want, colour.
Because our attention is on this, remember?
Yeah.
Look in the background.
It is darker than it was before, though. And that's because he's taking the light.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's happened.
Oh, no, there is something... See, it's because it's a dark area, it can be hard to tell between video matrixing
Yeah.
and what's actually happening.
I can't see much in that one.
No. No.
No.
All right, so we've confirmed it's only on one.
Yeah, it seems to be only on one film.
What we might actually do for that, guys.
Anyway, I'll tell you what. How about if you guys want to make a comment and see what you think?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, what I might...
Not about my first one. We know that's a spider, right?
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to comment on that one in the background, yeah, be welcome to.
Yeah, what I might actually do
send us a comment.
is I might also, like last week's episode, I might also, the week before, upload this particular video by itself as well.
Yeah, go for it. You're welcome.
And yeah, we'll just get your opinions on it, because this was...
We are the guys. If you're the first guys that's seen it, you have seen it.
Yeah, this is not actually a joke we're trying to pull on you. We literally just noticed it as we were watching it.
I didn't even know that was on the film.
No.
Actually, I was talking just about the first one that the spider made. Being an entomologist and all, I was quite interested in that.
To be honest, when I saw it, I thought I was going to be able to explain it, but I actually can't.
So this time you can't explain on my video.
Yeah, like
Not
that
that I
got
can
me a
either.
bit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Like I said, I didn't even know that was on there.
Again, drop a comment. Let us know what you think it is. Can you possibly give us any explanations as to what that movement was there?
Yeah.
And
I'm
I
not.
really don't know, because it had animal movements. Its speed, it had like an excited animal, but
Well, I was wandering around a little bit like a possum, like you said.
it was. But they sort of hop in a way more, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I can also say this: if there was a possum there, he would be on his way up to here
That's what I
somewhere.
was thinking.
He wouldn't stop there.
Or up here. Up here, because there's not. You can't see this, but is it still there?
What's that?
The hut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the possum that used to come in, it was very well trained. There's actually a little wooden box hut there, and they can go and sit in there.
Yeah.
So that's quite often where they'll be going to, is to try and get up to their nice
well,
warm
sometimes
spot.
they'll come up here and looking for scraps.
Yeah,
We might have had a barbecue or
exactly.
chucked something out. And they like the little shoots of grass because we mow it there.
Yeah, like I said, that's what it was sort of saying to me at the beginning, but there was a translucent, it seemed on and off.
I'm going to call it, with what you originally said, a reflection from one of those dots on the screen.
I'd have to think that.
Me being a skeptic, I'll go with that because I don't think it's a ghost.
Having said that, it's
I have to say I don't think it's a ghost.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
But it's rapid movement. That's what's got me. Very rapid movement.
And I'll explain the rapid movement by the light is here, and there's a little dot there amplified that far. The movement, little tiny movement equals a lot.
It came down, then up, then down and off.
Yeah, well, that's something too. Yeah,
Very odd. And again, like I said, this isn't a joke. We did not set this
I'm
up.
not fully explaining that one.
We've literally just seen this the same time you guys are seeing it. I don't know what that is. Let us know.
Yeah. So Gary, if you're watching, look, give us a little message there and see if you can explain that one for us. Yeah.
I get the feeling he's not.
Oh, he might be.
Well, the only reason I say he's not, because has he said anything about our actual...
No, I told him to watch it.
Yeah, did he comment on it?
I haven't seen him since, so I don't know.
I reckon
Probably
if
not.
he'd seen it, he hasn't.
Yeah.
I reckon if he'd seen it, he would have messaged you.
Yeah.
Anyway. And if he'd seen it, he would have caught the slight dig I took at him.
Oh, yeah.
It was meant to be constructive criticism, but it was hard not to be a dig. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway. So, I thought, now that I'm going to get this wrong, I bet you. The SAG-AFTRA strike has now ended, which means movies, TV shows all go back into production. And I thought, You know what? And I'm one of these ones who I find, not every show, but as we all do, except this guy because he watches ABC, and that's about it.
Pick on me, yeah, go on.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's easy. It made me go, why is it so important? And I wanted to pick it apart a bit more. Why is it so important to us? Why does it represent so much comfort? For me, I can go into it a little bit deeper in that it's a world outside of our own. It's not one we have to worry about. We can just sit there and watch and be completely removed.
You mean like why do people watch action movies and people getting killed in car accidents, and why do people?
Well, see that moves into
people enjoy that. Why do people enjoy that?
That moves into the
'Cause it's not
societal
them,
thing.
It's someone else.
Yeah, because that moves into the society part rather than the people part.
Yeah. And then wars and stuff that I'd like to watch.
Yeah, well, because even when you think about it, even in a TV show, for example, a sitcom, for example, The Conners, if there's something bad happens, it's usually over it's resolved by the end of the episode. So you can watch something where there's problems, but they're very quickly resolved. Where a lot of people who are at home got problems that aren't resolved. They can watch something where things are resolved in 21 minutes or half an hour, depending if you've got ads or not. And same with movies. But I thought the more interesting thing is going and looking at what it does to society. So obviously we've got social media. That also helps spread ideas and ways of acting, all that throughout the world. But like, I don't know, this could be different for America, but I think we're still in the age where movies and TV shows define how we act in public. Let me try to think of a good example of that. Or even what we say in public. Like there are so many slang words in American, we wouldn't know unless there'd been TVs and movies coming from you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like sayings and things.
Yeah, like for example, one that came from Pulp Fiction, which is a very, very highly acclaimed movie. There's a saying that comes from what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson. Bad motherfucker. We wouldn't know that saying. It wouldn't be plastered on shirts. It wouldn't be. My mate even got one where it had BMF on the front of his leather wallet. Bad motherfucker. We wouldn't know those things if it wasn't for movies. And I think it also, when you think about it like in a school society sort of thing, the way movies and TV shows make out how high school is sets an agenda of what school is in your mind.
Yeah, I think it goes right back to even play school.
Yes.
If you watch,
like for example,
if you watch play school like I do, you'll see that, right?
But like it tells you.
I watch play school and the ABC.
Well, it tells you what groups are popular, what ones you want to belong to,
Yep.
what ones you don't want to belong to.
Yeah.
What defines you as a loser, what defines you as a cool guy.
And I don't watch that army movie, The War. I watch the ABC, The Real War. Oh, go on, sorry.
Pretty
Go on.
much. But yeah, like I think we sort of forget, we're blaming social media and all these different rights movements, but still we're very defined by TV shows and movies. Car racing became hugely popular, as in illegal car racing, street racing, that sort of stuff. Became hugely popular when the Fast and Furious movies came out.
Yeah.
They dictated a norm in society.
I think it's still pretty big in America.
Yeah, it is.
car
Yeah,
racing.
I'd say Japan specifically, not necessarily all of Asia, but Japan, especially the drift scene, that's always been big over there.
There's a few shows on telly about it. They're not on at the moment, but there has been.
There's even things when you go as far as movies like Terminator. They didn't define our society, but they defined our fears. They defined our fears of machines, of what could be, of a world that we're not in control of. That gave us real fear. Before Terminator and any movie like it, and you'd probably be able to attest to this from being a kid, we weren't worried about a robot uprising. We were worried about aliens or other countries. I'm sure that's what you believed growing up. It wasn't going to be, yeah.
No, not really. No.
No,
No.
it wasn't a robot uprising that you had to worry about. If anything, robots were really cool.
Yeah.
But these new movies defined our fears. So they don't just define how we act, they also define what we're scared of, what we need to fear, and they also tell us what we should be doing, which in a good example of the high school kids movies. They shouldn't be showing you'll succeed if you're a part of the popular clique, or as it's reversed because of shows like The Big Bang Theory, nerds are cool. Nerds are smart. Attach yourself to the nerds because they will be successful. 5 years before that Big Bang Theory, you were a god, and I know because I was one of them. You were a freaking loser in high school.
Yeah.
Now you get some respect as a nerd in high school.
Yeah. 5 years before that came out, I never got a root. You know?
I don't know if I'd call you a nerd. Yeah, so as I was saying, movies don't just dictate the way we act. Movies and TV shows don't just dictate the way we act and live our lives, but they also dictate things like fears. Again, we would never have fear of robots if it wasn't for movies like The Terminator, iRobot. There's a whole bunch. I can't even list them all.
Jaws is another one. Jaws.
Oh, you mean Fear of the Water?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about robots, Tom. Like,
No, Jaws and how people should be reacting.
that's right. It did. It really did make people scared of the ocean again.
Yeah. The people follow that.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of movies, and to this day, sharks are really, they are really scary, but they're even more scary because we fear them in the ocean, even at the beach now. Does sometimes happen, but in general, not very often.
Yeah.
Not around the world.
Yeah.
It's a very small number around the world every year that get attacked by great white sharks and killed. And there's not many usually the size of Jaws.
Yeah.
That thing was huge.
Yeah.
Apparently that the robot that made that work had endless problems. during filming.
because they were very new to that sort of technology in those days.
What, the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the mechanics, didn't know what they were doing.
And it was mechanics in water too,
Yeah.
exposed.
You know, there's probably no bearings at all, just bushes and a bit of wire, goes through a little hinge a bit there,
Yeah.
and that'll break. But, yeah, these days they'd be more onto it, I think. It's like when they made the first omnithopters, the radio-controlled omnithopters, the radio-controlled birds that flap the wings and they fly.
Oh, yeah.
My God, the first ones were woeful. You know, they lasted about 5 minutes. As soon as they hit something twice, they were broken. But the ones you get today are really, really strong, and they fly properly, and some of them got gyros and stuff. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well,
You know?
everything's got gyros
Yeah, and the
these days.
hinges are proper. Got ball bearings and some of it, and that. And they're using carbon fibre. Never had that in the old days.
Yep.
Stuff like that, and just they've worked it out. You know.
Yeah.
So, and not too much money. They're cheaper and they're better. So, that's an example.
Yeah.
And that shark would have been the same.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Yeah,
what we were talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're just basically talking about the fact that TV shows and movies dictate a lot more than we think. But what we need to remember is the movie studios and TV studios know this. They're cashing in on it. They know we're going to take things from these movies and act it out. That's how they get new products to take off. That's how they get us to start being interested in particular things, get us to use particular... There's all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, the majority of the stuff we're into and whatnot, we don't get from ads, we don't get from the news, we get from TV shows and movies. So I thought it was really interesting. I just got into thinking about it after this strike ended. Just what TV shows and movies mean to people and what a world without it look like. We've been through that this year mostly because there's been no shows and nothing's coming back until next year now. And I'm going, this is very boring. It kind of reminded me of COVID. And there was no TV shows on. There was nothing to watch. And the only thing to watch really was wrestling, because that was the one show that continued on even through COVID. Even without audiences, they kept a product on to give people something to remove them from this shitty COVID world. It's been the same thing this year. The only real interesting thing has been wrestling and shows they had already filmed before the strike and were released. One such being a show called Santa Clauses, made much earlier in the year, got released 2 weeks ago. So that's some shows were already made. But yeah, I would hate, and I know it's the thing that means that they've worked their magic on me, but I would hate to go through another strike like that. That really bugged me this year. I mean, I've got social anxiety and whatnot, and I used to have this schedule of shows throughout the week to download. watch. I don't download shows. But then there was nothing. And I'm not always necessarily watching these shows, but they were a background comfort thing. To have nothing through the year was really annoying. Really annoying. I don't know how other people get affected by it, because I imagine some of these things play with my head a bit more because of anxiety and whatnot. But yeah, it just made me think. Twice we've had to go without TV shows and movies. And it actually does feel like a tougher time in the world. There's no, aside of games and stuff like that, there's no escape.
No, it's. I think what you're trying to say is that society is getting worse.
Yeah, it is.
In relation to just doing anything.
Yeah.
I have even found it's so hard to do something, anything. Whether you have to go to a doctor, whether you have to go shopping, whether you have to go fly in an aeroplane on Sundays, hasn't been too affected, but
Yeah.
you can still feel it.
Yeah.
Just the traffic is different. It's certainly we are in a different time.
Yeah, it's a very odd time. We shouldn't be relying on movies and TV shows, but we are. And I did wonder, is it...
People wonder why I don't want to go out.
But I wondered, was people stressed about these shows and that not being on, about the loss of that comfort? Or was it about, I'm forgetting what I'm saying right now?
Well,
what did I just say?
I said I don't go out, and just if viewers remember from last week, my back.
Oh yeah,
goes
so
out,
is it about, are they missing it because it serves as a comfort, or are they missing it because it helped them structure their lives? It told them how to be. I don't think we'll ever get an answer to that. But I thought it was an interesting aspect to look at it. We've been through something similar twice now. Why is it so important to people? Drop a comment if you've got a thought on this. Why do you think it's so important? Is it because it represents a comfort and escape from our lives? Or is it because it helps us structure our lives and basically dictates our lives? What is the reason do you think is more important to us as to why we need TV shows and movies?
Yeah, like I recently joined an airfield, and I can't even get the keys to the gate. I've got to go for an email to a certain person and organise a meeting for him, and I'll probably have to cut me one on site, and I have to wait for it. So I've left it with James, the other guy. I said, mate, this is just no. It's a bit sad, really.
Yeah.
So it's another example of go and get stuff done. Another hole, a gate to get through just for a gate. And it's just another example. So I just go, well, James.
Yeah, I really have no idea how we got to the airfield.
About the gate key. It's so hard to do things, get things done. A simple thing. They're supposed to give me a gate key. It's turned into something really hard, you know. It's a simple thing. We've got to get a key.
Well, yeah. All right, so I think this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode today. Couple of things I want to say. Oh, I've forgotten.
Yeah, you did forget, didn't you? Yeah.
Don't forget, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Will do us a big help if you do any of those, especially that share button.
Yep.
We also want to let you know that we know what next week's episode is going to be about. We're going to be looking at, I don't know them all yet, I haven't read on them all yet, but we're going to be looking at some of the 9/11 conspiracies out there, from the ones that are more serious and possibly have validity to them, to the just stupid and wacky ones. And I would say there would be a few out there.
Yeah.
There's a million about JFK, so it's been 22 years now. There should be some wild ones about 9/11. And then we'll also probably give you an idea of what we think happened on 9/11 as well.
Yeah. I'm going to have another look at that video, and I'm going to have a look at the cameras at a night time, or live, even if they're not, because I've got them on all the time, and I'll be looking at that spot to see if that is happening without that spider web there.
Make sure you
show
clean that
something.
spider web.
Huh?
Make sure you clean the spider web.
I've done that already.
Have you done that already?
Because I wanted to make another one.
And do you give the camera lens a quick clean?
Not really, but I'll do that.
Yeah, do that. Just to rule out...
anything on the lens.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. Good man. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we look forward to the 9/11 conspiracy theory episode next week.
Yep.
But that's all from us for now. A bit of a short episode today.
Yep.
But we will catch you next week. For now, I'm Rocky, and this is...
Froggy.
And we'll catch you next week.
See you later.